when he had loan to pay, he had everything to pay for that. And when he go to the bank to take out money for me, he used to take out amount for that. But he used to take it and put it underneath the car seat.
Okay.
So, but I would know. And I would take it out and I will count how much it is he's giving me. And I will curse that.
Can I ask how are you emotionally and mentally going through all of this?
Inspired, informing nations, supporting people in real, effective deliverance.
Hi, good day guys. Welcome back to the DRM Inspired, where we inform a nation, support people in real effective deliverance. We are continuing with our series on forgiveness, and we have again Sister Ramkissoon, our beloved Sister Ramkissoon. I'm not even going to talk about her like as if she's a stranger. She's like my mommy, adopted mommy, one of them. She started sharing with us in previous sessions about the trial and tribulation that she went through in her marriage. So she had started talking about how their marriage was arranged, that they became best friends, and with time they fell in love. They had their 6 children, and they were living life, both being saved, serving the Lord in the church, children loving the Lord in church, and living life as they should. And then the enemy came in, and he came in through the disguise of a miracle, where Ramkissoon had seen a miracle and then gravitated towards a church, but their teaching separated them. Their teaching and now that we know the details, their teaching and the way that they had him as a member drew him away from home, drew him away from family. He was not spending time at home. They were not receiving, they knew about his salary, but what they were receiving was not matching the salary. She had talked about him actually even leaving home. And you said, though, we had ended off that when he returns, that he said that there were some rules.
Yes.
What were these new rules?
New rules was I was not supposed to enter the room when he is.
You're not to enter the room when he is?
I had to sleep outside.
You had to sleep outside the bedroom?
Yes. The children had to listen to what he had to say. They had now to, if these people called and say anything, they had to say yes.
So if they ask, if the church call and ask for anything, it has to be yes.
But he came home, and in less than 2 weeks' time, I left for the States.
You left to the US?
Yes. I went and I worked there. And that's the last year I went to school. I worked 9 years. Because if I tell myself in a couple of years' time, he wouldn't resign. So it don't make sense like going back.
Going out to work.
Kids in their war, old now.
Because this has been a number of years. This hasn't been on for.
They need me now more than anything else.
Physically there.
Yes, so that's how I ended up staying.
So I have a few questions, because you talked about if you had to travel to the States, then who took care of the kids?
My great daughter.
Oh wow.
She was a wonderful person. She took care of them. If my son has to go for an interview or he have to go to work, she will take out her money and give it to him, and she will stay home.
And I know they were working and stuff like that as well.
But she did a very good job of bringing them up and seeing about them.
So your family had to do a lot of adjustments.
Yes, they had to do a lot of adjustments, everyone.
Had to cater for that gap. Can I ask, how are you emotionally and mentally going through all of this?
I was losing my mind most of the time.
Oh, wow.
Because sometimes, when Sunday reach, your children go back, they all over. I will stand up by the gate and I will watch, because I'm alone.
Okay.
And seeing people going out and things like that. It was not easy task, because early part in time with the test, one day they called and they asked him to go to the beach, and he said no because we were not going. He said no. She said she's not going if he don't go, so he has to go. So it was a demand on him.
Okay, so somebody called and asked the
Yes.
church.
So he had to go anywhere they were going.
Wow, so they're going to the beach, he has to go with them.
Yes. So we had to stay there. Now when all my kids were married and left and things like that, we had everybody were on their own basics. Sometimes they would come pick me up and go here or go there.
But you all had all their own network for
we
their
were
own
all
family
together.
that was
We were all-
external.
Yes, we were all together. One day I was going Princess Town with my daughter Abby, and I told Abby, I said, you know something, I cannot remember myself being at your age, how I look,
Oh wow.
how it is. Less than 2 minutes after, a man just passed across, and he told me, watch me, he said, I could just imagine you, how you looks, just like how your daughter is now.
Oh wow.
And Abby turned around and told me, Mom, you got your answer? I said, yes. You know, it helped me that day to build back my self-confidence. It helped me to be a little more stronger.
Because I can imagine feeling so
Yes.
beaten down with it and even feeling less than, because you were
Yes.
essentially just a tool
Yes.
to wash, to cook.
Yes, and one day he wanted me to do something for him. He wanted me to remortgage my house for them.
wow.
And I did not want to do it. So, okay. I went to the bank, get all the information, do everything. And I looked at the guy and I asked the guy one question. I said, when I asked you something personal, he said what? I said, literally tomorrow if my husband died, who paid his second mortgage? Would you guys come to take my house? He watched me. They were not thinking that I would think like that.
Yes.
So I said no, I am not going to do it because I cannot tell what is in the future, but I can tell you what I have now.
Right.
I did not do it. He took me across my neck. That woman embarrassed me, told me things that
Because he didn't want to take away the
Yes.
second mortgage.
He made me apologize to them. I watched him after a while. I said okay, and I left him right there. I said I'll walk home. When you're ready, you'll meet me on the road.
Oh, so you just walked out?
I just
left.
walked out and I left. And after he came home, he come and he picked me up. Why must do that and all kind of thing. I didn't say anything. But I was reaching a point in my life of the end. I went through so many operations.
Like surgical operation.
I had to remove my womb. Less than 6 months after, I had to remove the ovaries because they were a cyst on top of the ovaries.
Oh my god.
Now they couldn't find out or nothing. I just got pain and that was it. I had to go back and take it out. I did all of that. I had to take out my gallbladder. That was the one I did. I tell myself I am not coming out of it again. I made up my mind that that was the end of me. I went and took, my kids came home. They came in the hospital. They stayed with me that whole day. After the surgery, I was not waking up. My son, he came and he played with my toes. He had a way of playing with my toes to wake me up. He come, he see me, wake me up. asked him, Mom, you okay? And that's my son started to cry.
Is it that you felt like you just wanted to die?
Yes.
Wow.
And he walked home. He walked part of the way, then everybody left and we next day. But my son, he just pulled me out from where I was. He pulled me out. Because I was the one who stand up for him.
So, in your deepest, your darkest time when you felt like you just wanted to give up, not just in your marriage but in life, your children were the one that pulled you out of it.
And I came back because when my son he started to work Petrol, I was the one who had to call and ask for interviews to help him to get him into Petrol. My father did not do it.
Even though his dad did work there.
Yeah, he did not do it. But one time when my son had to get through into psychopatry, when he finished the MI course and my son had to get through, I went in and I told him, I said, my son have to go inside of the patron, but we don't have no space. I said he have to go in as electrical. This is Ramkissoon. He have to go in as a laborer. I said, no, he is going as electrical. This is Ramkissoon. How could you want that? I said, I want that for my son. I know how he is, I know who he is, and I know what he could do. He said, okay, we will have to stay. I said, no problem. He stayed on for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they called him. They said they had
An opening for an electrical.
Went in.
He got in.
Yes. And he was the best of everything. He will come home and if he works whole day and he did not get what he wanted done in work, he will wait half night and sit down with pen and paper and work it out. So morning he's excited to go to work and they get through.
So you're dealing with all this and trying to manage your family on your own. Did you ever like lash out about Ramkissoon? Did you? Were there fights? Were there quarrels?
They were quarrels.
There were quarrels.
They were not fights. They were quarrels. Sometimes I couldn't take it. And one time we had some prayers or something like that, and they bring everything from their fridge into my freezer. And he came through it back next. I said, well, you're not carrying nothing.
You kept all this stuff?
Yeah, I didn't want it. I said, yeah. And we had a big argument. And I told him, I said, look at the van. You cutting grass. He left and he went, but the next day he comes and carrots was with you.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
He left and he came back the next
You
day.
say something about cutting grass?
He used to cut grass because they had animals.
Look at the van because he's cutting grass
Yes.
for them.
Yes.
Okay, so the grass is in a stick. I remember the van picking up those shots.
So you see, in this time in our life, sometimes I lashed out because I couldn't take it anymore. But I will sit in my hammock.
Getting his money, getting his time.
Yes. I will sit in my hammock and I will talk to God.
Okay.
I will talk to God and have things, whatever I have inside, I will talk to him and tell him about it. But he always lead me. Always.
And reveal things to you.
Yes. Even though in this time I even had a problem in my church. My church had broken up. They would come into, they were having service under my home. And I had to hold my church now together.
Okay.
But I never mentioned anything to him about what my church was doing because I know what is going to take place.
Right.
Until the end and they moved out and
They found their own.
But it had a brother Russell. He was 100% with me in that case. If I want anything, he was there to help. He had 5 and 2 children. I babysit his sons.
Okay.
And he helped my big daughter with work and things like that. So we had a good relationship. He was always there if I needed him to do anything for me. He was there.
So God sent support.
Yes, he had support.
When did it start to turn around? Because this thing was a number of years.
Yes, it started to turn around in life. As I told you, I made up my mind to let him go. I love to change my gate and my house.
So it's going to end the marriage.
Yes, I was going to pack his clothes and put it by the gate. I had 2 grandsons. They were my partner. The Holy Spirit had asked me, what am I going to tell my grandson when they ask for their grandfather?
Okay.
I then said, I tell the Holy Spirit, I said, okay, I done, I leave it. I leave it in your hands, I don't want it.
You're not going to put him
I'm
out
not
to
going to
just
put it,
don't
I'm
do
not going to
anything.
do anything. Because if he tells me that, I said, okay, and I left it. Somehow or the other, I don't know how I really get in contact with Darren.
But so you got in contact with Jared?
Yes, and we will talk on the phone.
Okay.
Now, Brother Ramkissoon had no relationship with his brothers and them too.
Okay. Yeah, because it seems
Yes.
like he
Yes.
was demanded elsewhere.
Yes. And his mother used to be home by me. I do the duty of
Your daughter-in-law still, even though
son and daughter.
son and okay, you filled in his
Yes, I
sis.
filled in the gap for him. So nobody could have pointed a finger and say he didn't do this or he didn't.
He didn't meet his end.
Yes, because I keep his mother moving. If they're here home at my house.
Oh, okay.
And I will work in and things like that. Now, when I met with me and Derek, used to talk and things like that. One day I went and I make a donation for the land.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So
Thank you.
When I
We're here.
when I called him, he told me, he said, I got it. I said, what you got? He said, my wife went in the back right now. She got 20%. I said, okay. So he did it and then he asked me. He said, do
You
want
have
to
a
join-
prayer.
No, do you want to join the ministry?
He asked you that?
Yes,
Okay.
he came out and asked me, do you want to join the ministry? I said, yes, but not now. I will join the ministry when my husband comes.
That's a strange question for Derek to ask. Go ahead.
So
No, I was not privy to this.
I said, when my husband comes. So he said, okay. And we left it like that. Now, my husband had already resigned
Okay.
when this happened. Because, part of everything, I think it had a falling out with the wife and my husband.
So the pastor's wife and your husband had a disagreement?
Yes, I think the pastor and his wife had a disagreement.
Oh, so there's a, she had disagreements with everybody.
So she separated with him, I think.
Oh, so she left the pastor, okay.
So, but they were living in the same house. So he came and he told me, he says, you know what, we will, now because of she was not in the picture, it had a little much more
A little peace.
and a communication. So he said, I am not giving up my pastime son, and I'm 100% behind him. I watched him, I said, don't take me for a fool. Don't want to have nothing to do with them. I don't want anything, them to come home here, I don't want anything. So he looked back, but he didn't say anything that he made. Our children, still started. When he resigned, every one of my children came home. Remember that would have been his birthday too.
Right.
So everybody came home. They had a nice time with him, things like that.
And he was there.
Yes, he was there for that. And,
I like that they were still willing to spend time, even
they
though
always-
it was rough. They weren't bitter, they weren't angry, they didn't
my
reject him.
son had a little bit of bitterness. My
He would have to, because he was the only male.
Yes. And I'm talking to Derek and things like that, you know. And never asked Derek to say, pray for him to come back or anything like that. I told Derek, I said, if he's happy there, I'm happy. I'm ready. Got it in.
You had reached that far.
Yes. Till, you know, he got sick.
The husband got sick. Brother Ramkissoon got sick.
Yes, he got sick. And he got sick and he had to take out his gallbladder too. So one day we went to a church service and pastor told him, point him out and sit and cry. So what happened? And he described how he was feeling and things like that. And he said, no, it's not that, it's your heart.
Oh,
It's your heart.
It's his
Something had
heart.
done something to your heart.
see his heart.
So, okay. I had made a point of praying to come and get deliverance. We had to go for his operation.
Mm.
So we went for his operation and there he made a point and he came back home. He called the pastor, telling the pastor something. And the pastor said, I want to come to see you. But I know your children would not accept me. And I know. He said, I don't want you to come to see me, and I am not coming back.
So when the pastor had prayed for him about the situation of his heart, God already started working on him.
Yes.
And he went and do his operation, and when he returned home, he decided to cut himself off, like his eyes got open. Okay,
His eyes got open, but he will never dare for him.
right.
He will never dare. And you guys were praying for him, and he didn't even know. And remember, we used to come and drop a little snacks because I asked him one day. I said, would you go with me to drop this? He said yes. And then he met you guys.
Okay,
But still, he didn't want any part of anything.
no.
Church didn't want a part of anything. But when God fully opened his eyes, he stopped. Then he realized how much he had missed with his family.
Oh, yes.
It was
So there was just a turning around once the right people started to introduce in his life. The turnaround started to happen. How long did it take between the church, going to the church and the pastor praying about his heart, and him turning right around and starting to recognize and to tell them no?
one time he had recognized it.
So like the blinders, God just removed it.
In part, you know, in the life we were going on, when he had loans to pay, he had everything to pay for them. And when he go to the bank to take out money for me, he used to take out amount for that. But he used to take it and put it underneath the car seat.
Okay.
So, but I would know. And I would take it out and I will count how much it is he's given to them. And I will curse at him.
Oh, wow.
And I will tell him, I said, this is supposed to be our woman, not supposed to be. And you know, after it started to swindle little by little by little. And still he did not recognize everything. When you do recognize it, and he accepts it, then you get to know you guys and things like that. And then you really get to know what is true ministry.
Wow. By being with us and deliverance and
Yes.
seeing lives change.
You get to know what is deliverance, what is true ministry. And because, you know, it was a different completely.
Because I think he was in a ministry where they were self-serving,
Yes.
and
And they had cursed,
we try to be more servant-like.
yes, and they had cursed his family so much.
Oh, wow.
You know, he was not really there with none of his daughters to me. Yes, he was there present, but not in this.
Not there like a father
Yes.
really.
Because when Milsha got married and Milsha asked him, Daddy, can I have a father and daughter dance? He watched her and said no.
Oh no, okay.
You know, all was in between all of that, and not one of them had hated his daughter, had hated. When he came back home and he was there 100%, they appreciated it so much. He never threw nothing in his.
So how much years now has it been since he's been back?
It's 4 years out of the ministry. It is 4 years. It's 4.5 years.
So 4 years of having your husband back, and you're celebrating 46 years. And most of your marriage was spent being actually separated. But because you heard God and He asked you what you're going to tell the grandsons, that you stick it in, and God did what He had to do. So with time, God kept His promise.
Yes, he did.
I think this is I think I feel privileged in that I came in when he got changed, because I think I didn't. Derek had known you guys before, and I believe you were interacting with Derek before. I only met you for the first time when we came across Christmas.
We met when I came to drop stuff. We came across and we met him, but we didn't have a one-on-one to talk with, to just say hello, thank you, and that was it, because we had to wait.
Oh yes, once Derek, somebody had to be there with our candidates and stuff like that. So the first time I do remember like really meeting and chatting was when we came across to your home. And then I saw Milsha there, and then I didn't know that was a whole and then you guys have been like so much in our lives, and I look at you now. I remember there was a camp, and that camp would have been about 3 years ago, so that was probably would have been a year until your change. And you all couldn't stay late because you all had to go to Tobago.
Yes.
You were taking a trip to Tobago. And I saw you guys leaving, and you were leaving holding hands, grabbing each other's hands, walking.
That is how we were first in our marriage. That is how.
And it's amazing that you're seeing that that was after decades of separation, that you are where you are now. What is life now? Like how it was before you got married, but how is the finances? How is the relationship? The time you all spent together?
It is 100% better, because as I told you, when I had asked God for my husband to get an operating job, I did not get his pay as an operator, but I get his salary as a pension.
Oh, you get it now
Yes,
in
as a
pension.
I handle everything. We are 100% better in our relationship.
Well, everybody knows.
And
You two are inseparable.
Our home, our children, everybody. He and his son have a very beautiful relationship.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And all his children,
All the daughters.
his son-in-laws, and have a very beautiful relationship. And when he was not in tune with his two first grandsons, he are with his grandsons now. Versha's son loved him so much that he doesn't even bother with me.
Papa.
Everything is his papa.
Papa.
Yes. Yes. Abby's sons behind him, Papa, they love him so much. Marianne's son, they love him so much. They put full emphasis on him. So I take
This
the
is
back
like making up, so you're taking a back seat.
Yes, I take a back seat and let him get all the love, because I had all the love before.
And that's what I wanted to ask. When the change come though, do you just embrace it? Do you not feel like this is too little, too late? Was there a piece of you that was angry and be like, no, you can't be coming now after all the... There was not. Everything just embraced the change. This is what you were praying for.
Yes, and this is what we had before.
So it just felt like returning
Yes.
to what you all had. This is so great, and one of the things is that a lot of couples struggle with the coming back. They struggle with when the change come, how do they let go? So we are going to return again, and we're going to talk about the journey to the forgiveness. Because even though I know that you said that you embraced it, you still had to let go of all that hurt and disappointment. And what did you do? What did you tell yourself to let that go? So guys, we are coming back again to wrap this up. We need to find out, how did she let go? It's because she got the change. How do you let go in the past though? And all those years lost. What do you do with the anger and everything? So guys, we would be right back. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave your comments, let us know if any of this is registering with you. And we have to come back to finish our story with Sister Ramkissoon. So guys, please stay tuned. Sister Ramkissoon, thank you so much for your time again. This has been priceless. And guys, we will be back. Stay tuned.
Informing nations, supporting people in real, effective deliverance. Inspired